Boom.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the 39th episode of The Insiders on Real Estate and Marketing. Anyway, we're excited today because we have a wonderful guest, Miss Shana Acquisto.
Yep.
Acquisto, thank you, of Acquisto Real Estate, and also the reigning president of CCAR right now. So you better believe that Marc and I have a ton of questions to find out what's going on in Collin County, as well as trickling out all across the Metroplex. So I'm glad you're here with us. Welcome, and let's get it rolling.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Give us a quick update.
Yeah,
How's
quick
the
update. Title business is improved.
Yeah.
We're up about 30% in order count from last month. So I'm encouraged to see that. And I think with this softening of the mortgage rate, everyone seems to be leaning toward that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I'm reading, I think it's going to get even better. So I'm hopeful we're going to have a good spring. I'm even hearing of multiple contracts again, which I want you to visit a little bit.
Can't wait to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Because I keep thinking, okay, are we in the spring season yet?
We are. We definitely are.
Good.
I think the only red flag is not on the residential side. There's going to be a red flag rising on the commercial side. And I think we're going to see some
Red flag.
Red flag being some defalcation. And there is $270 billion of debt coming due nationwide, and that's rates that were probably at 2 to 3% that are now quoting around 8.
You've been forecasting this a little bit these last few months.
So I think it's primarily going to hit the office sector. So
Yeah.
that's where we're going to see. I'm reading about major funds giving buildings back, not in this market, but in other markets. So we're seeing we're going to see some stress, a little bit of stress in that side. And multifamily is probably slowing down a little bit as well. Retail, industrial, still good, and we're still doing a lot of land deals up there.
And I can't speak to this. This is not our wheelhouse, but retail, how is it doing? And if that's the case with commercial business, and buildings are going to have to be given back, that kind of is scary because retail is just seeming like it's almost non-existent anymore. Especially out in Collin County. I was out shopping around the other day, and in my neighborhood, Stonebridge Ranch, I was looking for like a place where you could go buy clothes or something. Yeah, it does not exist.
The little boutique.
The little boutique,
shop.
Yeah.
Right.
the little shop.
Yeah, retail's kind of redefined, and that's going to be more restaurant.
That's a whole different subject.
Yeah,
We should
restaurant.
definitely talk
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
sometime.
So,
But
anyhow, we're still in the best. We're still in the best place in the Metroplex. So that's
It is.
that's the bottom line to
Yeah,
it. So.
yeah.
Anyhow, I'm excited to have Shana with us, and my
too.
good friend.
I'm excited too. Thank you.
Shana has Acquisto Real Estate, and she and her husband Mike started that in 2001. And I love the word boutique because that's what I consider our company. They're a boutique brokerage firm.
Me too.
And they were recognized Broker of the Year by North DFW Real Producers to that side. And she's dedicated to servicing her clients foremost with good processes, cutting edge technology. And of course, she has 100% goal satisfaction of her clients. Integrity would definitely define Shana and her firm. And as we talked about, she has a great respect in our community, our real estate community, and she is the current president of the Collin County Association of Realtors, soon to be rebranded. When do we move to the new name?
So thank you for having me. So we have just gone through, there was a lot of discussion on this, but we have added the word greater in front of Collin County. So we are now the Greater Collin County Area Realtors.
Okay, area, okay.
Yes, because everything is moving north. And I don't know that, we want people to know that we service all the area.
Denton, Oregon,
Yes.
getting out into all these little splinters.
And,
of towns.
when you get out in Salina and Prosper and Aubrey, you see we kind of drift over into Denton County. So we just wanted everyone to know that we still are your association to service you, and we just go a little beyond the Collin County. So it's, kind of great.
So you're driving, you probably have membership out of Denton and outside of our immediate county, so to speak. Yeah.
So there's not
Everything's going
specific
on.
associations like for Denton County?
There is.
and
There is.
You just taking over.
No, we love all of our partners. We have
Yeah.
Texoma, we have Denton, and then, we have Collin County, but
Okay.
you know, as everything goes north and we're expanding like we are, you know, there's so much land out there that's starting to be developed. We just wanted to let
Cool.
people know and not have a question and think there's not an association out there to help the agents that are in the north.
What do you think, 2 or 3 challenges that you guys are focused on in this year during your presidency?
Well, this is a legislative year.
Yep,
So, which
important.
is very exciting. So there's a lot of things that we're seeing, and, you know, property taxes is high on that list, and, you know, what do we do there? But there needs to be a little bit of property tax relief, and I know they've gone from 40 to now they've for a homestead exemption, they've gone from 40,000 now up to 70, and I think they were wanting to even make that even higher.
I think they've approved $12 billion allocated toward that. It looked from my most reading I was doing today, it looks like what they're going to do strategically is they'll funnel that into the school, thereby lowering our school tax rate.
Right,
to that
which is the
side.
most
Yeah,
expensive
which is
part.
definitely the most,
Yes.
particularly if you're up in the Frisco area, those kind of where you've got, I don't know how many high schools are up there now, 30 something.
I know I have 3 boys that went through Frisco ISD, and you know, when my youngest started kindergarten, there were 5 elementary schools. Now I don't know, there's 70.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's really
I
crazy.
mean, the area has just grown.
It has.
Unbelievably so.
For sure. Yeah. So I think you know, property taxes is really high on everyone's
Right.
one's list.
Well, and to that point, one of the things that's so important about these associations is, for your side is tree pack,
Yes.
for our side is title pack. But regardless of which, it's a pack, and just discuss the importance of that pack associated with the legislative support we receive in the real estate community and the title community.
What is tree pack?
Tree PAC is the Texas Real Estate Political Action Committee. And I will be the first to tell you that politics, not really something I like to be involved in, not political by nature, but as a real estate professional, I understand the importance of being involved because everything that, you know, all the laws have something to do with real estate in some way, shape, or form. And if we don't have presence, like if our PAC is not out there fighting for us, who is? Somebody will replace that. You know, if it's not realtors, it's going to be somebody else. So I learned early on that, you know, at first I really, you know, I heard about Tree PAC and my first inclination was it's politics. I'm staying away from politics. But just having boots on the ground and, you know,
So it's like a lobbyist group?
Yes.
Yeah. But our Tree PAC committee, they go and read through every single bill to see if it affects home ownership. So that's what Tree PAC does. They fight for homeowner rights and property owners. So they read through every single bill.
Right.
And, you know, that's incredible.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that, I mean, there's a lot of things that would have gone another direction and,
Right.
and would have been
And
catastrophic.
then you got to
sure.
determine who that sponsor is, and then you got to be able to get an audience with that sponsor to talk about
Correct.
consumer property rights, et cetera. I was on a call yesterday because I'm on the PAC trustee for the Texas Land Title Association.
Okay.
And they reviewed 3,000 bills that were relevant to real estate, and then kind of walk through what.
3,000. That's
Yeah. So a lot of times it's not necessarily what you introduce, it's what you try to get off of the table.
Right, right.
That's not a good thing, because at the end of the day, and you went into, I'm sure you've gone to Austin like I have, and you go and sit with these guys and gals, and they sort of are deer in the headlight when you're talking to them, because they really don't understand our industry. But if you get someone that's willing to listen, but the importance of all that is if you got PAC dollars, then you'll get a better audience, because that's how the
Correct.
political system works.
Yes.
And we've got a substantial tree PAC dollars, we've got substantial PAC dollars on the title side. So we're getting the right audiences of people that can be champions. for
And how
this
is that
process.
linked to CCAR?
Well, go ahead, John.
Well, so it's not just CCAR, every association, you know, Tree PAC is our state PAC.
Right.
So all the associations, do what they can, and everything is at a local level.
Yeah.
Right? Everything, it starts at the local level. So you have to know what's going on locally to get it to the state level.
Right.
So
And it's kind of
just-
an up and down stair because it leads to Austin, but it comes back into the local county where we have, as example,
all the grassroots.
Jeff Leach is a
Yes.
representative there.
So whether you're Collin County or Dallas or.
Yeah, so
Tarrant.
wherever you've got those representatives in those districts, that's where you need to have those relationships because they carry back to Austin. So, and it's what has always amazed me about this is the for people that sell real estate or in the title business, the less amount of contributions that are given from the overall people that are practicing. I'm talking about as low as $35 to that side, and it's just this is protecting your business.
It's your voice.
Yeah, it's your
It
voice
is
and
our
protecting your
voice,
business.
and
That makes sense.
Protecting your commissions, protecting everything that you do, and yet there's just, they don't make the contributions. If they did, it would be so much more substantially beneficial and powerful to that side. So that's the struggle that we have with.
It is
money,
definitely a
raising
struggle,
money.
and just the awareness of how this works. I mean, real estate is our profession, but it's not just about, showing nice homes and driving fancy cars like people say. There's
Right.
a lot more to it, and us protecting people who own homes or have, own properties.
So it's for
I mean,
people
that's
like
what we
me,
do.
Yeah,
homeowners.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're looking out
fight
for.
for you, Sam.
There you go.
I love that.
There you go.
Woo-hoo!
So-
Glad somebody's fighting for
Well,
it.
Right.
well, let's jump over and
Okay.
let's jump over into your firm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because one of my questions is, you probably had a moment in time when you said, do I do my own? Do I go with a big brand?
Huge
Do I have my own team or do I brand myself? And you chose to brand your own firm and have your own brokerage firm. So kind of take us through that kind of thought process and
Okay.
differentiate what you think as a boutique firm versus the big franchise that you might compete
Yep.
against.
So my husband was a mortgage banker, and I was selling advertising. And, he thought it would be a good idea. He's like, and there's a history of that story too, which is really funny. But so he thought it would be great if we worked together. So I got my real estate license. He was a real estate broker and a mortgage broker. So I got my license, and he could be my sponsoring broker. Okay, he did mortgages. He did not do real estate. So there was a lot of learning that had to happen. The first client that we got, I asked my sponsoring broker husband, "Oh, where do I get the contracts?" And he goes, "Well, you'll have to call CCAR." I'm like, "Oh, brother." So I called. I got our CEO, Mary Lighty, who was like, "Oh,"
Mary
and
Lighty,
took my
I've heard of
hand
her,
and
yes.
guided me and kind of, helped me get started. And I credit her for that. But, along the way, we're very, entrepreneurial, I guess.
Of course you
And,
have to be.
he comes from that background, and so do I. But we, along the way, I don't know that we ever once thought we should go work for another broker. We just always did it ourselves.
Didn't even dawn
So
on
you
you.
No.
started from word go. You were started as your own
Yes.
broker. You never transitioned from other
Yeah.
firms to your own.
And I just made it a point to go and meet the people that were doing all the business and learn from them and ask questions. And, that's the beauty about this industry, and what I love is I learned so much from brokers from all different brands, and they were so helpful, and that's the reason I'm here today, is because of them. So, we just took the bull by the horns and did that. And, maybe in 08 or 09, I said, but it wasn't, should we go work for another brokerage? It was like, should we go get real jobs, like a job outside of,
Right.
of real estate, like do something a little
Yes.
different?
Yes.
And we decided, nope, this is what we're passionate about. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I've owned my business since 2000, and there have been so many times that I thought, should I just throw in the towel, go with another agency? And I always would come back to, if I will just work as hard as I would be required to have to get up and work 40 and 60 hours a week at a company,
Yeah.
my financial woes will be over and I'll be fine. And I've probably been at that crossroads several times in my career, and each time it just kind of kicked me in the butt. And I thought, okay, I've got to go do a little bit more.
But you learn from all of those things.
Absolutely,
you
you
learn
do.
from them,
You
right?
do.
And that's the way, unless we were really sick. We did it to start as a lifestyle business. Hey, we can work together. We can be present for our kids. We have
Yes.
3 boys.
Love that.
And then it just became, different. We really realized we love what we do. We're passionate about the people that we get to help and serve every day. And that's kind of why I'm in the position that I am now, is I felt, very thankful to get to where I am. And it's now my turn to give back, just like all the people who gave back to me. So,
Well, you're also kind of what I call a player coach, because many times you have the brokerage firm, the broker's not engaged; they're just sort of more managing the process and all the other administrative side. But you have the opportunity to be out there as your own owner of your own firm.
Yep.
And I would think there would be some advantages to that when you're up against someone else on a potential listing or buyer representation when someone's considering you.
yeah, for sure. So people will always ask us, what makes you different? We get that question all the time, and I'm sure everybody gets that. Why are you different?
Yeah.
And first, I just want to say, just because you're different doesn't mean you're dissing other brokers. Because
right.
again, I feel like the reason I'm here and in this seat as a CCAR president even is because of them, right? Of other brokerages. We are very fortunate where we live to have so many amazing brokers and different opportunities for agents that it's really incredible where we live. But I think what makes us different is the fact that we are independent, and we're very, my husband more so, but we're just visionaries. So you can kind of see things, and then you can adapt and change, and we react to changes very quickly.
And you can do that because your hands aren't tied.
Right.
And that's a good thing, because I think that there are a lot of single entrepreneur styled realtors out there that, even though they are hanging their sign with a particular broker, they still are on their own. And so you being and having that kind of experience can help them learn how to have the strong points, work the strong points needed to be a successful entrepreneur. That's really, doesn't matter what broker that you're with.
Well, and
Like
there's
Marc
some restrictive processes as well in some of these major firms. People come into a firm, they get recruited in, and then all of a sudden, I'm going to do this, or no, you do
Yeah.
it this way, you do it this way, you do it that way, and so you. Again, as a boutique, you kind of design and flow accordingly.
I mean, we're very business minded, but in the same sense, we, something that I think makes us a little different and unique are 2 things. One, I still engage in transactions. I don't compete with our agents, but if I had a client from 2003, and they call me back, I'm going to help them.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, one of our agents may come alongside and help, because we all, we're very client first in our brokerage. So we do, that keeps us in tune with the market and what's happening out there, and we see it firsthand, so we can work with our agents to understand those situations that are happening.
Well, and if you get that opportunity, because you've got, what, you said 12 agents, that you could sort of, it's what I like to do with the escrow officer. I can kind of match personalities.
Yes. Yeah.
This
kind of
one,
fun to
is
do.
this one needy or not so needy? This one just find me a house, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have the ability to kind of understand what their personalities are and expectations, et cetera, and be able to decide, is that something I run with, or do I give that to one of my associates?
The next thing I'll just touch on that is, I think our technology. So I'm fortunate enough to live with a tech genius is what I would call him. And we always, I'll have an idea and then I take it to him and he puts it together. But our technology is incredible. Especially for being an independent broker, I would, say our technology is in line with any of the big firms.
And is that related to how you communicate with the client, or the client's
just
portal,
our back end,
or
marketing, our CRM,
Okay.
and on the client side.
Right.
So just the whole scope of it.
Yeah.
My husband likes to call it a total ecosystem, where you have under one, portal, you can satisfy and do everything.
Yeah.
And it keeps everybody efficient, and it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, talk to us real quick. We're running out of time, but I do want to hear about your role as president at CCAR. And what is that? Is that a coach? Is that a teacher? Is that a business leader, a COO? Tell us a little bit what it means to
Probably
be a
mostly
president.
committee meetings.
There's a lot of committee meetings, and I am so excited about it, and I do feel like maybe I'm getting more out of it than our members. But you preside over all of the meetings and the board meetings, but there are a lot of decisions that you have to think about along the way that you have to, and it's not just my decision. I work closely. We have a executive team that we work with, and then we work with the staff, which we couldn't do this without the staff. I mean, they make it super easy, but it's about building the relationships and being there for all the members and making every member's voice heard. And that is the most important thing for me, is to make sure that if you have an idea or you have an idea, that they're all being heard and you don't feel
And I think that's
excluded.
important. Marc's been keeping us up to date the last few months about the influx of realtors coming into Collin County.
yeah.
So how is that affecting the association and the general vibe of real estate in Collin County? And what are you guys doing to help those new agents that are coming in?
We have lots of education that we have, and we have a professional development department, and they're incredible. I mean, everybody at CCR is incredible, but they offer everything. They started offering night classes, and it's just super beneficial to all the new agents. Our orientation is great, and just reaching out to them and letting them feel, okay, we're going to take you, we're going to help you, don't be scared. You have the power of all of us, and just making them feel included and getting them involved at the association. We had somebody who was licensed 3 months, and she just attended a committee meeting last month, and I was so impressed with her. And I called her after, and I said, look, this is what it takes. You have to learn. You have to just be a sponge and learn as much as you can. And if you need anything, call me.
So does CCAR provide on top of what brokers provide as far as knowledge and training?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's in addition to
So they
whatever
sort
they're
of,
getting.
they sort of, as a collective body,
Yeah.
they set up those channels for education or engagement or what it is. So there's sort of an overlay to all the brokerage firms out there, and there's some
All
compliance.
working together.
Yeah.
They're
And
all
there's
working
compliance
together.
related to that as well, because they want
Right.
to make sure everybody's conducting themselves
Right.
properly.
Professionally.
I mean, we got 11,000 agents in Collin County, and what are we onboarding? About at least 150 a month. That's a big body to
Still,
regulate.
A lot of people.
Yes. And I will say, I'm not just saying this because you're here, Marc, but, fortunately, as president, it starts a few years prior to this year.
Yeah.
So you start to put your team together, and you put together your chairs that you think will be in the best position to run in the committee meetings. And Marc is the chair of the Plano Business Development this year, and oh my goodness, he just
You've been holding out on us.
he does, and he's always been like that. But he's someone I
wanna know what's
totally
new.
look up to, and
Thank you.
is a
Yeah.
true
He's awesome.
professional in this industry. And the fact that this last month that we just had, the speakers that you brought in were incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
they were incredible. Talking about, are we going to see foreclosures? What's going on in the market, and just.
And what do you, if you wanted to get in that space, what does it involve getting
Yes.
into that space? Because it's not
Yes.
just like all of a sudden you say, I sell REO.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
No, it does not
Yeah.
happen that way.
Yeah.
So just identifying those types of things and bringing that to our membership is so important.
And it is a voluntary body of people. And so, I've always been engaged in it for the association, not for my gain.
Right.
I
You've
want-
never once asked.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
and-
And I've
you.
enjoyed it. And thankfully, I'm on the Budget and Finance Committee as well, which I enjoy. It's the first time I got to look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And we're in very good condition as an
Yes,
association. And
very strong.
So it's just it's a dedicated body of people. And if you want to engage, there's a pathway. If you, as far as you want to go, you can make that commitment and get there.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
Yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, we've run out of time, and I'd like for us to think about 3 things that you want to leave with your audience. And we've kind of talked about entrepreneurial business things. So maybe you just leave your 3 comments about, from your perspective,
Sure.
your 3 comments about, your perspective from Acquisto Real Estate. And Mark, go ahead. You go first.
So my three takeaways are, number one is pack. And that doesn't mean for a vacation. But I think that we need to,
That's a good one.
the associations of across the board, we need to be giving to the pack. We need to be making sure that we're engaged in our future, and that's one way to assure that. Second thing is if you're in an association as a member, volunteer, get involved on a committee. Just get into the swim lane.
Get involved.
And find out where your pathway of interest may be, because there's a number of different committees that you can engage in. And we're looking for the future leadership of these associations as well. That's probably a big challenge, is just who's going to, when Shana steps out, who's going to be stepping in, who's stepping up, who's behind that individual. So there's a leadership growth opportunity in that association as well, which will benefit you professionally as well. And then, you know me, I say this every day, I say think boutique, because I think you get so much better attention in a boutique firm, and you get the same level of expertise or better, and you get the entrepreneurial approach of people. So I say go boutique firms. I'm all about that, because I consider myself a boutique title company, and I know I know how I can outpress my competition by doing the things that they're too large to do, and being able to be entrepreneurial and design something that I want to do and not have to go through corporate and everything else. So those are my three takeaways.
For sure. Thank you. Sean?
Gosh, how do I follow that? So I like to go back to things in the simplest of forms. And when we're talking to agents, here's the thing I try to teach our agents, like three things. Real estate's very simple. Listen. You know, my husband says all the time, you were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth. You have to listen. You have to know your market. So getting involved at the association and, you know, working with other professionals, you're going to learn and know and understand your market, and then follow up. That's the biggest thing. People don't follow up.
They don't. It's crazy.
I know.
It's amazing. So listen, know your market, follow up, and you will, you know, you follow those three things, then it's simple.
Fundamentals, blocking and tackling,
Hard.
right?
Yes,
No
exactly.
kidding. No kidding. Well, my three takeaways, and giving it my marketing spin to end the show, is ditto for all of this. I think that knowing your market is huge, whether you're in real estate or whether that you are a shop owner. No matter what business that you're in, it takes knowing your market. No matter what business you're in, if you're an entrepreneur, it takes a certain mindset and program to follow. So however that falls, whether you're in real estate or anywhere else, is super important. So your operations, your systems, your habits that you need to develop, whether you're a brand new realtor or a top producing team leader,
Right.
or an entrepreneur from a different industry, title, whatever, you've got to have those systems that help support what you're trying to achieve. I think that's really important. And then marketing. You've got to market. So whether that's personal marketing or whether it's brand awareness or whatever, there is not one way to market anymore. You know, we used to have a formula. Here's the formula: social media, 1 post a day, get videos. So now all the realtors are on videos, and you're seeing this plethora of videos. But as Mark says, what are you teaching us? What are you giving us? So marketing is, to me, so important, and to realize that there isn't just one formula. But you have to first know your market to know how you need to market yourself. So what are your objectives? What is it that you're wanting to accomplish? You know, do you need to run ads on social? Do you need to put up some splash pages to gather some email addresses? Are you building a list? Are you selling a product? Are you doing personal awareness of what you bring to the table? So these are the things that come first before your marketing. You have to know, whether you're an organization or an entrepreneur, what it is I want to achieve in the market, and then develop that marketing plan, because there is no one size fits all anymore. There are a million different ways, analog and digital, to market yourself these days. So it's finding a trusted person, a trusted mentor or friend or company. Another boutique company is what Sandy Hibbard Creative represents, to help you learn what those things are that you need to do. And that is the 1, 2, 3 punch. You know, I've written about that. The 1, 2, 3 punch is just simply making a plan and executing a plan consistently in marketing is what will bring more results than anything. So
Pack,
those are my
pack,
takeaways.
pack. 1, 2, 3 punch.
Listen, no.
Listen.
Yeah.
That's right. Good
Excellent.
stuff. So
Great.
thank you so
Yes,
much
Thanks,
you.
Shana.
This was
for
fun.
being here. And thank you, Secured Title of Texas.
Yes.
Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you, Marc.
Yeah, always good. Thank you, buddy, for everything.
You bet.
All right, guys,
Yeah.
we will see you next month
month.
on The Insiders.
Ciao.
Ciao.